Okay, so here I am, I've made it. I'm in Hull and at the infamous Annison buildings. Infamous because it's supposed to be very active. Most haunted have been here, but I won't judge it on that alone. So what I'm going to do is just have a little walk around, have a look, see what it's like. I've already been and took a few still shots, some of the points of interest, nothing paranormal, more cobwebs on wood, that kind of thing. It's just me, nothing paranormal. This is an interesting thing. There, believe it or not, that is a ramp where horses, which would have drawn the hearse, and I'm not sure if they were involved with the police, would have actually been taken up here and across and up, and that on the second floor is actually the stables. Of all places to have stables. Well, quite strange. You wouldn't imagine it, would you? So anyway, we're going to go through and go up to the stables and have a look through there. This is the hub, I will believe, for tonight's investigation. Cameras have been set up and there's a monitoring station, and as you can see we've got some staff at the ready just in case anything should happen to kick off. And there's every chance it might, by all accounts. So here we are onto the first floor landing. There's an area through there which I'll go and have a look at in a moment if we can actually see anything, because it's quite dark. Put some bags on the windows. Here we are, the first stable block. All the light provided by the atrium roof. Quite a few stables, so they must have had quite a few horses at any one time. And got camera set up in here, monitoring down the far corner. I'm assuming that must be an active place. Okay, out onto the gantry. And as you can see on the floor, it's ridged in the concrete so that the horses have got something to grip onto. Here's the view. So down there, look, you've got the ramp where they would have come up and then worked their way along up onto here. And actually below this area where we are now is actually a chemist. Not an old chemist that's no longer in use, it's a fully functioning chemist. Here we enter the second set of stables. Now there is quite an energy that you pick up on in this area, particularly when I came up before and had a look around. The very far corner over there, for me, feels like it's got a certain heaviness about it. Someone who obviously needs a hand getting out of there. Yeah, this one. I was speaking to someone on Facebook, they were asking how things were going, and they mentioned the stable, said that they'd been before and they were very active, and that they actually got some good photos in here, but they didn't elaborate, and I'm quite pleased that they didn't, because I prefer not to know too much. But it's still got that feeling here. I can't really elaborate much more on that, but it feels different to the other area. And it's a fair share of cobwebs. I don't know if you can see those, but fortunately they're above my head height, so I'm not worried. I dare say there'll be a few guests later on that might come upon them. Okay, we're not going into there, I don't believe. It's locked up. I have a feeling that perhaps, given that the stables are on this level, that may well have been an area where they stored hay and food for the horses. If you look at the construction, this section that starts here and goes across and over into that corner, compared to the rest of it, it's different. The tiles are newer, the bricks are obviously ones that have been brought in, they're not the originals, and also the supports are steel with the legs and everything, well, steel or iron, one or the other. So I would suggest that that's not original, as opposed to that part, which seems more likely to have been original. Okay, so now if we go back to where I came from, see if we can go into that area that looks as though it may well be too dark to see anything, but I was through there earlier in one section and there is quite an energy. Actually, as I stand here now, I'm feeling quite a strong energy. Blacking out those windows looks like it's working. Okay, we've got a camera set up in here, and by all accounts, I bet you can't see it. I think I'm getting close. No, believe it or not, right in front of the camera now is a chair, and it's got tape around the feet to see it move, because apparently it does move. Another flight of stairs, and a hazard for people of a particular height. Another section, small section here with a nice dark corner. Okay, again you have to duck going into here. Now this area, I really wish you could see it. I wish I brought a torch now, or we got night vision on this. But here, no, I can't see it, so you can't see it. Believe it or not, there's a coffin. There's a coffin on the floor. It's hermetically sealed. It's used, or it has been used in the past for RTAs, road traffic accidents, etc. So it has had bodies in it. And there's artwork on the walls, which you won't get the benefit of seeing. But I believe this is an area that's used by Hull University. Now when I came through before, I got to this point, which is just going through into another area, and there was quite an energy, quite a strong energy. I'm sensing it at the moment, but it's nowhere near as strong. Okay, so it's a bit stronger as I step further forward. Yeah, so as I progress down through the room, it's not a massive room, I just wish you could see it better. I imagine that the main energy is at the far end of the room. We'll hopefully find out later and initiate some form of communication. I've asked people not to tell me too much. As I've said, I don't like to know too much going into an investigation of what may or may not have happened at a location. That way, if I do pick anything up, there's a good chance that it's not something that I've heard prior to coming here. It's just me that's picking it up. Looks like a blood stain, but I'm sure it's not. Although it carries across on the floor. Maybe I have to get some luminol, do some tests for blood. Okay, I've come this way. I don't know why. Because Maybe because I've not been down this way before and I'm just curious, but that doesn't seem to go anywhere apart from to that door with a cat flap in it. So maybe it's a fancy apartment for a cat. Don't know. Well, the chair's not moved. Maybe later. The energy's still hanging around. Okay, we're back to the stables. Okay, I'll just show you the view from the two cameras that are set up. If you can see, the one on the left, that's the chair I was talking about. Walk past. The one on the right is the stable block, first stable block. It'd be great if we get some movement, particularly with the chair. It's very dusty in there. I can see quite a lot of dust floating around, and there is quite a breeze actually when you walk through that doorway into that room. Right, so there you have it. That's the main body of the building, the areas that are supposed to have got the most interest. So hopefully something will happen, somebody will have an experience, and we'll all have a good night. Good night.